you cool cats and kittens. It's that time again for a brand new edition of A Schmoke
and a Pancake. I am your host, the beard villain Johnny Malloy, Jerry, and I am here with my co-host, my partner,
the amazing Pancakes. How y'all doing out there in Radio Land?
Episode 2 of our wrestling podcast and everything in between. We're back again, and man, episode 1 was fun.
I had a good time. We don't get to do this very often where we get to sit back and actually reminisce about the business, because we've been doing this for a long time. We got our own careers, but that's not what this show's about. It's about us enjoying being, I guess, somewhat of a fan again. Would you agree? Would you disagree? What do you think?
We do wrestling so much. We do it. We work wrestling. It is a job so often that it's cool to sit back with a friend, enjoy some greenery, and talk wrestling and talk our love of wrestling and sometimes our hate of wrestling.
And you know what? You mentioned something just now that it's so crucial to this show. And you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's greenery. And speaking of greenery,
it's
time
for the Weed of the Week. Today's weed is Purple Rain. That's the greenery. Purple
Rain.
Jerry doesn't like Prince.
I'm not a Prince guy.
How do you not like Prince?
I'm not a Prince guy, but I'm a Purple Rain guy because it is a 3-way cross. OG Kush, Chem Dog, and Purple Candy Kush.
Ooh.
It is a 50-50 hybrid, so it's a little happy, it's a little hungry, it's a little tired, it's a little euphoric. And
it's a little bit country and it's a little bit rock and roll.
It's a little bit country.
I wasn't even thinking about that one.
Well, I'm a little bit country.
I'm a little retarded, but...
And I'm a little bit...
Come on now.
Well, like we always do, welcome to our show, Little Greenery.
Schmoke A Pancake.
This is the Schmoke. That's the Pancake. And I think it's about time for topic number 1.
Woo!
Now, it's only episode 2, so let me remind you of the format. Each week, 3 topics, picked at random. We don't know what they're going to be, and we're answering them honestly and as entertaining as we can be. Each topic's got 10 minutes.
I think that's the only way we could do it.
That's the only way we could do it. I can't answer these topics boring.
If we did, I don't even think it would be worth the time to do this show.
This whole show is a spot fest.
Oh, no kidding.
We don't break. Okay, all right. Topic number 1.
All right. Topic number 1. Talk about an injury story.
Ooh, an injury story, like for us, like an injury we had.
I mean, I guess it could be if you know of an injury story of someone else, but it has to be a
There was
story.
this guy named Sid Vicious, and they told him, Sid, why don't you go up to the top rope? You're gonna be fine. You're built like a horse.
It's gonna be landing on a pillow.
Oh my God, an injury story.
That's tough.
I have a lot because I think every tooth I lost is an injury story, right?
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay. So you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
An injury story, a good one. Okay, I got it. So a lot of people, if they watched me wrestle back in 2010 to maybe 2016, they might have noticed that I could walk. Like, both legs worked at the same time.
I had never seen that before in my life.
I used to be able to walk. And if you see me now, I have a very, very distinct limp on my right leg most of the time. And that is my injury story. The time I blew my knee out and tore my MCL. I was wrestling for the Bronx Wrestling Fed. Bronco.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah. I was in a tag match. It was me
now. Okay.
and the Oracle Sage. The Oracle Sage.
Yes, and I was managing.
Versus Rufus and Hyde? Mr. Hyde, the potion guy? Maybe?
Yes.
I'm asking the producer here.
Probably.
And we're in a tag match. I got Rusev laid out. Rusev. I have Rufus laid out. He's down. So I'm going to go up to the top rope, which is really the middle rope, because when I get on the top rope, bottom rope, I realize it's not. So I'm like, yeah, it's not going to work. So I'm standing on the middle rope.
It really does.
And I decide, you know what? We're not even going to do the senton. There's not enough people in the audience. Instead, we're just going to drop a leg drop. Just a guillotine leg drop off the second.
Okay.
And I make eye contact with him. And we kind of have that unspoken, get out of the way. And I jump. And as I jump, he has this look on his face like, I'm not moving.
Really?
But I jump. Wrestler to wrestler, there's a way you're going to land something if you know you're going to land it, and there's a way you're going to land if you know you're going to miss it. So I jump in a way where I know I'm going to miss it. So my leg and my derriere...
Derriere. Now you're getting too far with the language.
It's coming down right where his head is. Because I'm thinking he's not going to be there. And maybe halfway through, I realize he hasn't moved.
Oh no.
I Sid Vicious. I just throw my right leg down. I land on it. He's still partially under me. My other foot kind of kicks him in the head, but he's already moving. He just moved late. My right knee goes one way. I go the other way. Everyone in the fucking building thinks my leg broke.
It was a big groan from the crowd, too. Like, ooh.
I go to get up, and it can't. And the referee's looking at me, and I'm going, I broke my leg. I can't verbalize what I'm trying to tell him, but I'm like, I broke my leg. And my partner's like, oh, shit. So my partner, kind of big guy, reaches over and tags me, because I'm able to crawl. Okay. Like, literally crawl. And we're the heels. And I tag him. And he comes in, and he's working the thing, and the EMTs surround me on the apron, and they're talking to me, and they're asking me, and they're just asking me questions. And I'm trying to get my leg to work, because I go, I could still get into this match. I could still finish it. And as I pull away from the EMTs to roll over, to try to stand up on no leg and just get involved in the hot tag, I hear, 1, 2, 3... Sage and the Beard Villain win!
Wow.
He just got in there, went sick house on the other team, and won the match for us. So, they're like, and you're winners! And the EMTs are carrying me to the back.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
And BWF's on the 3rd floor.
Yes. BWF is such a pain.
So, Jimmy Jack Cash was there. He gave me one of his shirts, and we wrapped my knee up tight. And then she and a couple other people helped me hop on one foot down 3 flights of stairs.
It was crazy.
And then I drove myself home before I went to the hospital and found out
You are truly... I want to say you're truly a jackass, but yeah, that's fucking professional right there.
I mean, that's wrestling,
I
guess.
Finish the damn match.
And they told me no wrestling for 6 months, and I had voice surgery. So I wrestled 2 weeks later.
Yeah, because you're an ass.
So and that's why I have a limp for the rest of my life. Oh, 5 minutes and 39 seconds. That means you have 4 minutes to tell your injury story.
Damn. Okay, so it's not so much an injury story, but it was more of a potential injury story.
Oh, my God.
Because I don't think...
Oh, my God. Are you doing it? Are you dropping the Roush bomb? Are you talking about the time you wrestled Cliff Roush?
I wasn't going to.
Oh, okay, never mind. No, never mind. Let's pump the brakes on that one. I was thinking, one time I almost got HIV. I'm like, what?
Wow. Well, I wasn't even going
that's ECPW behind the music, but...
Oh, my God. You think you know, but you have no idea.
You have no idea. Okay.
Anyway.
You have 4 minutes.
Thanks, Dick. Anyway, so... Back in 2000, I believe it was 2009. BC, yeah, Dick. I worked for what at the time was my home company, which was Pro Wrestling Revolution, PWR, in Deer Park, New York.
Jesus!
So, me and my old partner, Magic, whose real name is Andrew Morgan. Everybody knows Magic.
Magic's a cool guy, yeah. He's a cool guy.
We were a tag team at one point. We were called the Wrecking Crew. We were the very first PWR Tag Team Champions. We defeated Justin Cage and Jason Static for those championships. And throughout that entire time, we were the top tag team to beat. We were what I guess a lot of people have said, the Team 3D or the Dudley Boys of the PWR. That's what me and Magic were.
It's a fucking high compliment.
2 big,
it's a high compliment.
Giant dudes just tearing asses.
2 big guys who are the best.
So, we were scheduled to face Carnival of Destruction, which was based of Carmine Azzato, who went by the name of Demolition Blast at the time, and Brimstone.
Oh my God, we don't have enough time for Brimstone.
Oh well.
That's another time.
Forever immortalized in wrestling schools for no reason. Go.
Oh, boy. So...
You have 30 seconds.
No,
you have,
it's not.
you have 2 minutes.
Damn. So...
And then I fail.
Anyway, so we had our tag, mind you, dickhead. So mind you, it was a tag match for the PWR Tag Team Championships. That match was based on our rematch clause because of the fact that they beat us the last show. They took our titles. They humiliated us. We came back.
Okay.
We won our belts back, and we fought them in a tag match for it. So
Heard the snap.
from what? Yeah, right.
Where's the crackle in the pot?
Damn, here it comes. Ready? So mind you, 4 big men in this match, and there's nothing. It's literally just 4 big men. You would think that it was just going to be a giant bumblefuck. Probably one of the best man tag team matches you'll see in a very long time. I wish I had it on tape. But what happened was Magic and Brimstone, they both double clotheslined each other. They're in the middle of the ring dead. The focus is now on me and Demolition Blast on the outside. So me and Blast, we're fighting on the outside. He takes the tag belt, smashes me in the face with the tag belt. Now I stagger to the back. Stagger to the... I'm sorry, not the back, but stagger onto the steel staircase.
Okay.
He punches me one good in the face. I go up. He grabs me, mind you, my mother, my father, and I think I had a couple friends who were there that night too, who were sitting front row where we were at. He decides to suplex me from the steel staircase on top of the table behind him. Barricade. We broke the table, and my mother thought I died that night because she thought I cracked my head open on the concrete floor.
Brimstone?
No.
Carmine.
Carmine
Okay.
suplexed me onto the concrete, and the referee, and believe it or not, my father hopped the barricade, picked me up, and brought me into the back.
Okay.
So that was more of like a potential. I never really, I'll be honest with you, I've never really had a big life-changing injury.
And that's a blessing, dude. Okay. Couple things. We just 10-minute mark. Got to stop the topic. Couple things. I don't believe you had friends. I don't believe I don't believe your family was athletic enough to hop anything unless it was an IHOP.
Wow.
And also, we've learned that whoever goes first on these topics has the potential to tell their story while the other guy gets cut off and harassed.
Yeah, you're a real fuckface, you know that?
All right. Let's see. Topic number 2.
All right, guys. Topic number 2. Talk about the worst travel accommodations that you've ever had.
Oh, God. Worse, like insufferable.
Yeah.
Miserable.
I have a good one, but...
You want me to go first? I dominated the first last time.
Yeah, mine's not that bad, so yours probably better than mine.
So you should go first, then.
Yeah, you should go first.
All right, fine. Let's see. I believe it was 2012.
BC.
BC.
We have running jokes already.
I was under the name Draven at the time. And the show literally was, it's like nobody was there. But we did it just because we were there. We were getting paid. It's whatever. We didn't care. We got paid. It was, cool. It was a nice little road trip we took with some friends.
You got paid?
Cool. We got paid.
Most shows have nobody there and nobody gets paid.
The motel. Mind you, there was a bunch of us sharing one motel room. It was me, our buddy Chris Sokol, who was a referee, Mike Magnum.
Ugh. Oh,
Yeah.
Mike Magnum.
Yeah.
That guy's a starving artist.
I heard. And Damian Darling.
Oh,
We're all sharing a motel room. Mind you, as soon as we get to the motel room, Damian Darling turns to the guy at the front desk and says, "So, what do you got to accommodate us? Do you have like a gym? No gym.
No gym.
Oh, okay. Do you have a swimming pool? No swimming pool.
No swim.
Okay. Do you have a spa? No spa.
No spa. I have hot rock.
So what do you have? You come in, you go to sleep, and you leave." The guy's exact words. As soon as he said that, I had to run away because I was laughing my ass off.
I think that's safe. I think it's good accommodations to me.
You come in, you sleep, you go.
That's a wrestling motel.
Exactly. So we go do the show, we come back. Now that motel room that only accommodated the 4 of us, now accommodated like 8 or 10 of us. Because you had Damien Darling's band who came and played at the show.
Oh, God.
You have me, Chris Sokol, Mike Magnum. Mind you, I was up all night the night before with Chris Sokol, just sitting in the freaking lobby, bullshitting for hours until the next day. So me and him are already like mentally, like physically exhausted. But we're just going and going because we've been drinking coffee and Red Bull.
This story is mentally and physically exhausting.
You're welcome. So now there's 10 of us in this motel room.
Sausage party.
Me, Mike Magnum, Damien Darling, Chris Sokol, Matt Hyson, a.k.a. Spike Dudley, and Shark Boy, along with the 4 members of Damien Darling's band.
Ugh.
Okay? For Christ's sake, all me, Spike, and Shark Boy wanted to do was go to fucking bed. And everybody is just in the hotel room, drinking and partying, and I'm looking
Not Mike Magnum.
No. Mike Magnum,
Oh, this is Sinner.
he doesn't, I'm not saying nothing.
This is Sinner.
He
Mike
didn't do
Magnum.
nothing.
Back when he used to kill for fun.
No, it's because, you know what, some people are not into
Joking.
it, and that's cool, and I'm glad. But at the same time, some people are, and that's cool too. But anyway, where I'm going with that is, the shittiest time I ever spent in a hotel was at that time, because not only did I stay up all night, I had to wrestle that next day, got back to the hotel room, 10 people in my room, and myself ended up going to the front desk and rented another room.
Wow.
For me, him, and Spike just
to get some sleep.
Sleep.
Okay. All right. I on my half, I love shit hotels. I love shit hotels.
I know you do.
One of my favorite hotels, Maryland. It's a heroin den. Indian family runs it. There's a space 2 inches high under the doors. There's a pool that you can get pizza delivered to. It's next to a Cracker Barrel. It's next to a Waffle House. It's next to a Flying J, a McDonald's, and another heroin hotel.
And a Taco Bell.
And a Taco Bell. It's my favorite fucking place. I love going there because I love shit hotels. So, if we're going to do a shit-y hotel experience, that's what this is?
Worst travel accommodations.
Oh, man, because I have a shit... Okay, fine. My worst travel accommodations is wherever I felt the worst, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One time,
Damn.
me, Little Monster Binky, Pancakes, Trigger Bohannon, and Lexa Rose stayed at this fucking Hilton Inn in Dover, Delaware. And we decide that we're going to bring Rock Jimmy Jack Cash, and Rampage's main man, Jay Cortez, back to our room, and we're gonna have our own rendition of How High 3. Now I want to say right off the bat, Jimmy Jack Cash sat on the other side of the room. He ate his pistachios. He left a tip for the girl to clean the pistachios in the morning, which I thought was classy. And he even warned me that if we kept smoking that hard, we were going to get the smoking charge. And I said, Jimmy, I know what I'm doing. Yeah. Jimmy, there's no way they get me with that smoking charge. So the next morning, we go out to check out, and me, Lexa, Trigger, Binky, we're waiting at the car for about an hour. Because we've already sat down and had the free breakfast, so where's Pancakes? Well,
Still having
Pancakes
free breakfast?
is inside having second free breakfast.
You're damn right I was.
Like
when it's
some
free.
kind of hobbit.
Wait. It was third breakfast because
Third?
he came down with me and you, then he ate Lexa
That's
and Trigger,
true, those third
Yes,
and
I
then
did.
he grabbed extra plates to bring to the car.
Yes, I did.
So, as we're finally getting Pancakes out, I check my credit card app, and I notice $150 that's extra. And I say to myself, oh no.
Did Pancakes order food that was not on the fucking free menu? That's not what happened.
That must be the smoking charge. So I go back in and I say, there's a $150 charge. And the lady says, "We know you were smoking. We have proof you were smoking." And I said, "What proof?" I said, "Reverse the freaking charge. What proof?" And she said, "We found ashes in the garbage can." And I said, "Listen to me, lady. Don't die. Don't die, Pancake.
I'm good.
In the 5 minutes it took us to check out, you ran a CSI style, crime sweep of that room and found ashes in a garbage can? You guys are the best hotel staff in the world."
Fucking Scooby-Doo that shit real quick.
And I say to you, I was not smoking in the room, reverse the charge. And she said, "Well, the only way the charge can be reversed is if you call your credit card company and they put a hold." And I said, "Okay." And I went outside and had my credit card company put a hold. And they didn't get paid shit. Because you're not charging me $150 for a smoking charge. If it was a cigarette, it would have lingered.
Right.
But the greenery is gone very quickly. Very
Those
quickly.
of you who are educated in greenery, obviously, you know what we're talking about. You know the positives and the negatives of what it could do, what it doesn't do. But mostly the positives. So.
And everybody had a good night, except for Jimmy Jack Cash, who stayed away from it and was a gentleman. I want to say that in case he listens, because Jimmy doesn't partake in that shit. Cool. And Jimmy warned me, you're going to get... And I said, "No, Jimmy. What do you know, Jimmy? You've only been doing this 10 years more than me. Fuck you, Jimmy. I'm so headstrong. I was a champion in an indie company once, Jimmy." So that was my worst travel accommodation. It was probably your best because you got 3 breakfasts. But it was my worst.
When they say fucking free, I'm going to take full advantage of that situation, just like every cold-blooded American on this god-forsaken earth.
Continental? Where's the Belgian waffles?
Ha!
That's how
What
we got
you don't
banned
know
from
is
all
that I
buffets
found
in America.
the waffle maker. Nobody knew that it was there, but I found it.
You know what I call a waffle maker? When you clap your cheeks together. I call that the waffle maker. Ooh. All right. Topic number 2 was crazy. Topic number 3. Strap in.
Talk about the importance of attending a wrestling school.
Ooh.
I mean, do you want to touch on that before I start going apeshit?
Well, one of the fun things about A Schmoke A Pancake is sometimes we're going to have very different views. And I would say that I, combined between FTW Wrestling and VPW Wrestling, only spent about 8 months in a wrestling school. However, most people would never tell that. Most people would think I went whatever amount of years and graduated, but it didn't work out. I didn't. And there are guys like Shane Helms, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, CM Punk until he got trained by Ace Steel. A lot of guys who came in with very little training and made it work. But I don't recommend that. That is giving yourself the worst possible start. That's faking it till you make it, and that's the hardest to do. In hindsight, if I could rewind, there was a school called NYWC Wrestling that I would have enrolled in. But I can't rewind. By the time I'd already been, 6-7 years in the business? And to go back in and start running through bumps would have been dead. So, is it important to attend a wrestling school? Hell fucking yeah!
Yes, it is.
Does everyone do it? Does absolutely everyone do it?
No.
No, but you should.
But you go into a wrestling school, you're going to learn more than just wrestling moves. You're going to learn more than just, how to do an entrance or to make a
razzle and dazzle.
Exactly. You don't go into a wrestling school. It's not just going to get you into shape. It's going to work you out. It's going to give you your endurance. It's going to give you everything that you would need to be a successful wrestler in this business today. When you see guys who, I can't say for myself because I'm not physically fit myself, but
different shapes,
different sized wrestlers,
different gimmicks.
Fala
Ba.
Yep.
Amazing.
Absolutely.
Love Fala, but he's not going to be running a triathlon with the Diaz brothers anytime soon.
Exactly, and neither am I.
Oh, fuck no.
But I'm going to tell you this. I spent about 5 years of my being associated with one specific professional company, which just so happened to be PWR, Pro Wrestling Revolution.
Which means you spent more time in SWA than you spent in PWR?
That's true.
Weird.
If it wasn't for me going to PWR, you would never have gotten the type of wrestler I was, because I am rather, because back then I was the drizzling shits and everybody knew it. I sucked. It was
Back then?
Yeah, even now. But
oh, Purple Rain.
I didn't have confidence in myself, and that, but in my opinion, that's what professional wrestling was. When you go to school to be a professional wrestler, it teaches you more about who you are as a person and an individual, and it helps you grow up with morals and respect. Because that's what wrestling school is all about, is to learn not just how to be a wrestler, but to respect the sport, respect the guys who came before us, and you know.
Good point.
You know, when I hear and I see these guys in the locker room talking or looking like guys who I would never really ever think about booking if I was a promoter or a booker, because there's a certain...
Let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah. There's a certain... there's a certain thing that you do. There's certain things that you do and certain things you don't do in a locker room. And those are the things that guys like myself, guys like yourself, guys like...
You learn from school.
Exactly. You learn from school to really indicate and detect those types of people who are not.
But let me cut you off. Okay, it's because I told you, 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
I went to VPW when I left because I was upset. I was poor because I was a little fucking kid living off mama's money.
Mm.
My mom was poor. I wasn't getting along with my friends, and I didn't like that every week I would go and I felt like I wasn't learning anything because I didn't get trained by a renowned guy. I got trained by a guy who knew how to wrestle. Tony Bon Jovi. Very nice guy.
Right.
So I had to learn a lot of locker room etiquette and everything else on the fly as it came when I ended up getting dragged back into wrestling. I wish that I had gone to a wrestling school and finished it out and kept going. But when I went back to FTW, we had like 4 kids. I would train with Jim Sullivan, Big Jim Sullivan,
right.
And he would tell me, "Why the fuck are you here? You know how to wrestle." And I would say, "But Jim, I don't know everything else. I know how to make the moves. I don't know how to make the moves behind scenes. I just know how to do the moves in the ring. Jim, help me." And it did, so you're right. You need to go to wrestling to learn those intangibles. But me and you, we're not the highest on the card anywhere.
No.
We're not the most world-renowned. Both of us still have yet to hit a PWI top 500, but I think we will.
I would love it. It would be nice.
But we're established wrestlers. We've been doing this for a while, right?
Right.
Most times when we go to put a match together, the guy's asking us what we want to do. And that shows some establishment. That shows we have some respect there.
Right.
But we have someone here with us, our producer, Little Monster Binky, who is not there. She is an aspiring wrestler. And she's someone that went to wrestling school recently for over 2 years. Not a year, like 8 months like me, 2 years. And she didn't train the easiest way. She trained under me, wanting to be a better trainer than my trainer. And she trained under Mike Magnum, who came in there with demolition blasts, old school mentality, but with this coming fresh off his WWE tryout, ready to give the Performance Center. They had the absolute hardest. We had NYWC kids come and do our cardio sessions, and they would say it's comparable or worse to New York Wrestling Connection because we ran the kids so hard. And we have her sitting here, and we have 3 minutes left. Little Monster Binky, what do you think of the importance to go to wrestling school?
I think honestly, it's good that he's asking you because it's someone that like.
You don't say a lot, but this is your chance to talk.
You can hear from him, but you
I'm not gonna
you'll
say
hear.
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
I'll even extend this thing if it keeps going because this is good.
I definitely think that school is important. I'd say having you. I mean, you were the main trainer, but you also brought people in regularly to
Pancakes trained for 6 months with us.
with like a bunch of different people for cardio, a bunch of different
Magnum,
things.
Forge, referee for NYWC, one of the
Yep.
owners, stopped by. JT Kaysen came by. Braden Knight came by.
We had a lot of people.
Did we get Gallo down for one?
Maybe. Either way, there was, like you said, 2 years, and I think that without it, you don't get, not only like you don't feel like you're part of a class, because I feel like the classes felt like, you know, you're part of a team together,
You're
learning the
towards
things together.
Yeah.
Yes, you're learning things together in a group, which is important. And that's part of learning to work with other people, and male or female, you know, either way, because you have to learn how to hit either way. And I just think that if you don't go, or if you go and you quit, but you continue to take bookings, I think that's super disrespectful. And
Do you feel, not to cut you off, but we're gonna elongate this one a little bit. I know it's 10-minute mark, but podcast number
Let's
2.
do it in 3 minutes.
Let's break the fucking mold on podcast number 2.
Wow.
Let me ask you, do you feel like wrestling school, not necessarily because I know we're married, but we don't get a chance to talk about wrestling because I keep wrestling out of the home life for the most part. Do you feel like wrestling school better equipped you for locker rooms, or do you think you already had that from being married and with a wrestler for so long?
I'd say I definitely learned some things in the school. A lot of the stuff I learned, locker room stuff I learned through you. Basically, filming, because I didn't just train. I also did camera for 6 years before that.
True. People don't realize 6 years doing camera and production for wrestling.
So I'd been in the locker room.
And then 2 years training before you took your first match. So when people say, "Oh, she's been in the business 3 years," it's like, okay, but
I've been around it and in like
a decade
doing things, for at least 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'd say that like with locker rooms, different people in different locker rooms, you still got, you kind of, a lot of that is on the road experience. You have to be there and learn what you're doing there. But it also helps to have someone who knows more than you telling you, hey, you know, make sure to go shake everybody's hand. Make sure to introduce yourself. Because some people don't do that. Some people are shy, or they don't realize, or they're not trained that way, or weren't trained, and they just don't do it. And it's something that's so important, because
that's
you
the
could
base level of respect.
It's
one person that has input on that company, and that's it.
And that's back to what I was saying.
right.
I said to you, I wish I had gotten more. When I first came back to wrestling, when Earl Cooter and Sean Stern pulled me back to wrestling, found me. I was just sitting in my apartment when they called me and said, "Hey, do you want to book wrestling for free?" And I said, "What do you mean book wrestling?" He said, "An indie show. Do you want to book an indie show for free?" And I said, "Why do you want me?" And they said, "We've heard you know what you're doing." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck it, okay. All right. Fake it till you make it, baby."
Yeah, right?
I disrespected so many people because I didn't know any better. And people like Dan Barry, they were nice enough to tell me, "Listen, fuckbag, you should shake some fucking hands.
Yep.
You know, don't steal people's moves. Don't go over the top on a pre-show." But I had to learn on the fly, so I rubbed so many people the wrong way. So now, even years later, first impression's everything. When you run into them, I'm still that guy who got pulled off the couch and inserted into a power wrestling position for no reason. So it's always constantly behind the 8 ball. I have to work. I have to prove myself. I have to... When you go to a school, I feel like you come in as someone working. So even though they see you as an underling, they see you as someone paying the respect to get into the business. And like Binky said, you learn a lot of those things you wouldn't otherwise know. Okay, so my question to you is, how do you feel about the people that just kind of come in and just...
It's extremely disrespectful. I feel like if you... I mean, I'm not saying you have to go to a school for a long period of time and all that craziness, but if you don't know those things and you come in disrespectful, or you come in and you don't know anything, or you don't shake people's hands and stuff like that, you're just, I don't know, it's so disrespectful. I don't even know how to describe it. Like,
I think nowadays everybody is really confusing, sometimes, not for everybody, but confusing with disrespect and just lack of education.
Ignorance and stupidity.
Yes.
Exactly. Ignorance and stupidity. When you got a guy who comes into the locker room and he's just sitting in the corner and he's just getting dressed and he's playing on his phone, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Now, I can tell you the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, well, this kid's just being disrespectful. But if I have to go over to you and shake your hand, and you don't, enough of nothing, I could tell, like.
And we're talking about someone new into the business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We know for a fact, insert kid here is brand new.
Exactly.
Inside
I'm
wrestler here is brand new.
I'm not that type of person to be very, worrisome of who's going to shake my hand now, I don't really care. But I'm going to go to this guy who's just sitting in the locker room, doesn't even pay attention to anybody, just playing on his phone. I go to shake his hand. How you doing, Eric? Nice to meet you. If I look into the guy, I can look into the guy's eyes and really tell what kind of person that he is. If he's really here to really work hard and earn a spot, or if he's here and has an ego. So there's two sides to the spectrum.
You think training at a reputable school and going through it kind of takes the ego out of you to a point?
Yes, because sometimes the good thing about wrestling training and wrestling school is that they can detect before you can even catch it of an ego forming. Every school has that type of way about people. That's why you do things like open ring or tag-ins or just training in general and cardio. That's why training is so hard. It's really to discipline you. It's really like a dojo. It really is like a dojo, like a Japanese dojo. Dojos, you got the samurai, you got the ninjas and stuff like that. As stupid as it sounds, it's the truth. We go to wrestling school to learn a specific way of performing and, in a way, self-defense. You have to be able to use those things together safely on both ends, yourself and your opponent. Because if you're sitting there telling me, "Oh, I'm a professional wrestler and I've had about 2 months worth of training," and you're wrestling on a show and you're going in there and you're going to be on the same card as me, I kind of want to be like, this is kind of ridiculous. I kind of feel like I'm being disrespected right now or slapped in the mouth.
You can be amazing in 2 months. There are learning curves. You could really, you could be at a school that like the Monster Factory is doing 5 days a week, and you could burn it out, and you could be fucking ready.
That's
Most
true.
People aren't. But we're not talking about exceptions. We're talking
I'm just
about
saying
the normal
it
person.
hinders you. Why would you put yourself in a position where you are hindered by not knowing the correct way to do things?
Exactly. I mean, look at guys like guys from Creative Pro and NYWC. You got, MJF from Creative Pro. He's AEW's one of AEW's top guys. And I'm
Went to a reputable school.
Yep.
Trained under reputable guys.
Yep.
Paid the proper amount of quote dues.
Yep.
And it gives you a step forward. I think
those certain guys are just sitting there trying to get an easy way in, man.
I think we're in agreement. Go to a wrestling school. It gives you the best foot forward. And, faking it till you make it, just trying to get in. I mean, it may work for 1 in a million, but it's not going to work for most. So go to a school and get trained properly. I'm not telling you to spend 5 years in a wrestling school. There are people that do, and that's not right. Raven told me if you can't get what you need to get in about 6 months to a year, if you can't get the grasp of it, you probably don't necessarily have the greatest future in wrestling. So I believe that. So I'm saying go to a wrestling school, go to a reputable one, and get the most you can out of it. And I think it comes down to it's like an amusement park.
Oh, yeah.
Going to a wrestling school is your ticket to ride. By paying that ticket, you appreciate the effort and the will and the work that went in, and it makes you work harder and appreciate it that much more. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right.
Let's cut this.
We got to do it. It's the last one. Topic 3. You're done.
Well, folks, that's it. That's all we got for you. That's 3 topics.
I mean, we went a little long. I think we might have doubled the time we were allowed on topic 3 So this might be our longest one, but out of
But
two.
you know what? It's okay, because we got what we wanted to say out of our system. All that aggression is finally out of our bodies.
It's passion, man. It's
Exactly.
passion. It's a love of wrestling, and that's what this podcast is about. It's about being a fan and loving wrestling and talking about it as if it's something that matters. As if pro wrestling matters in this crazy pandemic world.
Yes. Hey, guys, thanks for listening tonight. Make sure you guys catch us on Facebook. Soon we're going to be on YouTube.
Please reshare the podcast. Help us get out there. We're having a lot of fun doing this, and we think you're going to have a lot of fun listening. And let's just broaden the audience, man, because this is something we're going to try to keep having a schmoke and a pancake.
Oh, you want me to finish that? I don't know.
Yeah, you're finished. You're a butter boy.
Oh, boy.
A butter boy.
I'm the butter boy.
I'm
the butter boy!
You made a term earlier. We made a term last time. What was the term? It was like, for people that bump and feed. But this time, you called a bunch of fats in a match, doing a bunch of crazy shit. You called it a bubble fuck. And I was like, a bunch of 4 fat guys in a ring just running around hitting things is a bubble fuck? I love that. You want more clusterfucks. It's now bubble fucks.
It's a bubble fuck.
It's a bubble fuck.
But the match was actually so great. Anyway, we're going. Listen,
bubble fuck with us.
We are out of time. We are out of time.
We're done. We're so far over.
Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram and Facebook
and
You'll
YouTube.
Find us there. YouTube.
A Schmoke and a Pancake, guys. Until next week.